Big City Radio, 89.1. And there's John Lodge of the Moody Blues fame, of course, and a track from his most recent solo album, 10,000 Light Years Ago. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined by none other than John Lodge on the line this morning. Hello, John.
Hi, how are you?
It's wonderful to speak to you, sir. We've got a lot to talk about. First of all, you are an Erdington boy, of course. What was it like growing up in Birmingham?
It was fantastic. I mean, I would have no other idea about living anywhere else, of course, but I was born in Birches Green, and I went to Birches Green School, and I had a wonderful time because we had, Rookery Park round the corner, and I lived in a cul-de-sac, and so there was a lot of young people the same age as me, children growing up, and we used to play football every day, every evening after school on the island in the middle of the cul-de-sac. So spawned a lot of great footballers, Kenny Satchwell and people like Withers. Colin Withers used to come down and play. So it was great fun growing up there, and I really enjoyed it. And, I've still got my friends from there, and it's really, happy memories. I visited last year.
Yes, I saw a YouTube video of that, yes.
Yeah, and it was wonderful, to go back and see where I lived and see my bedroom where I was just sit hour after hour when I was about 12 years of age trying to work out how a guitar worked.
Now, you're coming to Birmingham for your first solo show at the Town Hall in Birmingham a week today. We'll get to that particular new tour of yours presently, but I want to talk about a bit about your extensive career, and I need to ask you, of course, why it took you, 38 years or so to follow up your very first solo album in the 70s?
Well, I think, I am a Moody Blue, and I always will be a Moody Blue. So I've been really just involved with the Moodies and trying to keep the Moodies, for me, in the right direction. So, and that's been my life, really. And but I started to write more songs, and, we haven't recorded a new album for a long time as the Moody Blues. And I thought it'd be really nice to revisit the way I used to record and, make a new album completely. And that's what I did. I'd written a song 10,000 Light Years Ago. I knew the album was going to be called that. Yeah. And I thought, here I go, I'm going to write this album and get the people I want, who I really enjoy working with, to come and play on the album with me.
The title of the album evokes memories of days of future past, doesn't it? It's a bit of a pleasant shiver, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and I really, Days of Future Past was, as you know, really incredible, and album for the Moody Blues, and it means a lot to me, that album, and so when I came to make 10,000 Light Years Ago, Ray Thomas, Al Wyatt himself from Pipe's, Erdington, and Mike Pinder, who was from Erdington 23, can you believe? But I rang Ray up and said, I've written this song called Simply Magic. Yeah. I really want you to come and play on it. So we went in the studios and recorded that, and then I rang Mike up and said, Mike, would you come and play Mellotron for me? And I sent Mike the files, and he put the Mellotron on it for me. So it was almost revisiting Days of Future Past, but it was working with friends I hadn't worked with for a long, long time.
And working with that fine guitarist Chris Spedding as well.
Yeah, Chris, I've always enjoyed Chris's guitar playing, and he played on Natural Avenue, of course, and I, which was the first album, my first solo album, and so I rang Chris up, and when I decided to make the album, I said, Chris, I've written this song, would you play guitar on it, please? And he said, well, could you send me the files, John, so I sent in the demo, and he said, I'd love to play on it. I said, oh, well, if that's the case, will you play on all the album? And he said yes, and there you go, he played on all the album.
Were the ideas for this new album coming to you in all those intervening years, or did you sort of sit down just a couple of years ago and sort of start from scratch?
I really started from scratch. I knew what I wanted to do, and I think it's, as a songwriter, you get your ideas come from the experiences you've had, and so all these things have been happening to me over the last whatever amount of years. And that's why I called the album 10,000 Light Years Ago. It's not a retrospective. It's about who I am today, you know. And I didn't want to look back at all, except there is a song called Those Days in Birmingham. I wanted everyone to know about Jack Woodruff there up in just off New Street, and all those times, and Eddie's Cafe in Shard End. And they were an important part of my life. And I wanted that to come over in a song, but in a song about today, you know, not about reliving the past, because I never look back. That's why I've never written a book, you know. I'm not interested in looking back at all.
How long did the album take to record?
I took a long time, because what I did, I recorded everyone individually when they had time in their busy schedules to be able to record. So it took about 18 months, really, from start to finish. And but, you know, that's the way I wanted it to be. You know, you can go in the studio with musicians and you say, this is a song, and, you know, everyone plays on it. But they may have other things going on in their mind at the time, you know, and so the creative part sometimes doesn't come across. That you don't get exactly what you want. So I said to everyone, like Chris Spedding and Gordon Marshall, Alan Hewitt and Norda, I said, I want you to play these parts when you want to play them, you know, when you think it's the right time.
Yes.
And that's how I did the album.
Has it given you a taste to do more solo work?
Oh, I think so, yes, because I went in the studio just recently and just recorded acoustically for a single, Isn't Life Strange, and Simply Magic. And I just used acoustic guitar, flute, and cello. And I released that just recently on, you know, as a single and as a vinyl single, and it's been great. You know, it's really given me the impetus to say yes, I want to do a lot more.
Now, aside from your solo work and your work with the Moody Blues, you've diversified. You're now a winemaker as well.
Yeah, I got interested in wine a long, long time ago. It's not just the wine. You know, the French have a great word for it. It's called terroir, which means, it doesn't mean literally the land. It means everything about that area. And when I first traveled to Burgundy in the 1970s, or actually in the 60s, I just fell in love with the whole area of France. And then when we went on tour, I went to California on our very first tour, and I went up to Northern California into Napa Valley and Sonoma County, and it's a really beautiful place. And they'd started growing wine there, and it was just, the whole thing just encompassed, and I really liked the whole idea. And then I met someone who wanted to make a wine with me in California, which we did. It was a nice red wine. And then I met someone who wanted to make a red wine with me in Bordeaux in France, which we did. And then I met someone who wanted to make a white Chardonnay in South Africa. And we did that, and we just released that this year, you know. And my daughter Emily runs all of that for me, and well, it's her company, really. I just enjoy the benefits, I suppose.
Emily, of course, was name-checked in one of the Moody Blues songs a while back.
Yes, Emily's song, yes. And I think that's one of the great things about being a songwriter, really. You can write songs that are very personal. And I wrote a song, as you just mentioned, you know, for Emily, called Emily's Song. I wrote a song for my son, Christian, called Carry Me, which is on Natural Avenue. And, you know, I've just written a song for my grandson, John Henry, which is called Simply Magic, which is on the new album.
Wow. Now, you mentioned it's been a long time since the Moody Blues have recorded any new music. Is there any movement there? Do you think that you, Justin Hayward and Graham Edge, will get together and make a new album?
Well, we will start American tour in a few weeks' time, and we'll be on the road in America for about 5 weeks. And so I think we'll be discussing everything what we going to do next year. You know, the record industry has changed so much.
Oh, yes.
It's a difficult situation now because it's how do you know, release an album. And, you know, if I had my way, I'd just release it on vinyl, and then everybody
be done with it,
Yeah, then everyone could download the rest, because, you know, CDs are, for me, they're just too small. You can't get all the information. And I released 10,000 Light Years ago on vinyl, and there's a poster inside, and there's all the lyrics, and it's readable. It's something. It's tactile. You can hold it.
You and Justin Hayward joined the Moody Blues, in 1966, after the initial Denny Lane incarnation of the band, and it sort of became a different band after that, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the Moody's, of course, recorded the wonderful Bessie Banks song, Go Now, and it was one of my favourite songs coming out of Birmingham band. It would be, because, my mate Ray was in the band, and Mike Pinder, and so, yeah, I supported that. I was still at college. I'm a bit younger than Ray. You won't mind me telling you that. I'm a couple of years younger than him. And I was still at college, but Ray rang me up in sort of the June of 1966 and said, John, have you finished college yet? And I said, yeah, I've just finished. He said, great. He said, can you get down to London? We formed an old band. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, Denny's left and Clint has left. And so I went down, met Ray, and they said, we found someone else called Justin, and I met Justin in the June, and we sort of got on straight away. We hit it off straight away, and became friends within the Moody Blues.
Well, what is your favourite Moody Blues moment on stage? Where would you say was a gig that you particularly remember as being a really memorable one?
Yeah, there's actually there is quite a few. The Albert Hall with the London Symphony Orchestra was really, really good. Playing Isn't Life Strange. When I heard the orchestra actually performing in the Albert Hall, playing the song, that was a particularly great moment for me. I really enjoyed that. But there are lots of moments. We played Madison Square Garden in the 70s, and Madison Square Garden is probably the greatest rock and roll venue in the world. And we did 2 concerts in the same day. No one's ever done that before, and I don't think anyone's ever done it since. We brought New York to a standstill because of sort of 25,000 people coming out and 25,000 people trying to get back in, so that was great fun. But I suppose that wasn't on stage, but that was just a moment in time.
Okay, so tell us what people can expect. I think you're in Stratford-upon-Avon tonight, aren't you?
Yes, Stratford-on-Avon. I'm just about to leave now to drive up the M40 to Stratford, so looking forward to that. It'll be some classic Moody Blues songs, of course, but I'm doing things that we've never done before in the Moody Blues, and one of them is Candle of Life. Never ever performed that. And another song is Saved by the Music. It's given me an opportunity, to play the songs I really want to perform, and I know the audience are really enjoying them.
And stuff from both solo albums as well?
Yes, with stuff from, and so I'm having a great time. The band is wonderful. They're playing so beautifully.
Okay, John Lodge is at the Town Hall in Birmingham next Friday night. John Lodge, thank you very much indeed for joining us at Big City Radio this morning.
My pleasure. To Big City Radio, congratulations, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.